Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Thibodeau, otherwise known as the Podcast Yoda. This series of videos is part of the podcast training program, but is called Ask Bob. And this came about simply because I wanted to share with you some tips on podcasting. I get asked questions all the time, and I decided to put this into a video format so that it can help you and bless you. This is free of charge. If you're part of the training program, it's also included in it. Uh, I've helped many people over these last few years to start their own podcast. In that regard, I was active on Facebook a few years back, I guess, and someone was commenting and they said, "You're kind of like the Yoda of podcasting." And then another chimed in, "Well, long story short, I'm now known as the Podcast Yoda." That's the nickname that kind of stuck. Well, this introductory training, it's designed to answer your questions and some of the more common questions that I've been receiving about podcasting. And I'm calling this section, as I said, Ask Bob. So if you have a question on podcasting, send it my way. I'd recommend you subscribe to this platform so that you'll be updated every time another question is answered and published. You can ask me a question. You might have any question at all on podcasting. Just go to our website at podcasttraining.com. You'll see the contact form at the top. Click that, fill it out, and it'll come to me. If I use your question in a video, I'll give you a shout out for it, and I'll also send you for free a download to my book, The Complete Guide to Podcasting. Now, this is a $37 value. It's being sold for $37 as part of our training program. You'll get it free. Just send your questions in, and if I use it on the Ask Bob program, you'll get that download for free. If you have a podcast or a website, put it in the actual comment section as well, and I'll give your podcast or website a plug on our broadcast. So ask Bob whatever question you may have concerning podcasting. Now, today I'm going to cover the question, what is a podcast? First, a podcast is a modern form of blogging. When blogging was introduced, it transformed the way information could be delivered to the masses. Instead of writers submitting countless articles to countless magazines and just trying to get their articles published, blogging was created, and it transformed the industry. With the expansion of the internet, bloggers soon found they could bypass the corporate world of magazines and interact with their intended audiences directly. Some bloggers even monetized their content and created an entire new career without even trying to enter the magazine publishing world. Well, podcasting is the audio version of blogging. Just like blogging allowed anyone with a computer to become a reporter, podcasting allows anyone with a computer to become a talk show host or a radio host or a online radio personality. The main difference between online radio and podcasting is the ability for podcasters to generate subscribers. I have an online radio station, and it had thousands of listeners in over 160 nations. We were rated #1 in the world on several occasions by shoutcast.com, but I could never, ever contact any of them. I couldn't capture their emails. I couldn't offer them the ability to subscribe to new programming. I was at basically their mercy to keep coming back for more content. Podcasting changes that dynamic. Through podcasting, you can offer a subscription alternative. You can offer free items in exchange for your listener's email address. You can grow your own personal audiences that only wants to hear from you. Now, over the course of these videos and articles that we're creating, I want to answer any questions you may have concerning podcasting. You can leave your questions in the comment section below, but a better way of communicating with me and making sure I'm able to see your questions rapidly is by using the contact form on our website. Go to podcasttraining.com /contact, or you just click on the contact button up at the top and fill out the contact form and be sure to send me in your questions. If your question is used on this podcast, I will give you credit for bringing it to our attention, and you will receive the free download of my book, The Complete Guide to Podcasting. That's a $37 value, and you'll receive it for free when you send along your questions and they're used on the Ask Bob program. If you include your website, your contact information, your podcast information, I'll reference that as well and putting your information in the show notes of our podcast. Who knows? You may see some increased traffic to your website, your podcast, etc., just from asking me a question. If I get asked the same question, the first person who asks it and gets it to me will get the credit. So if you have a question, don't wait. Ask today. Just go to podcasttraining.com, click the contact form, and fill it out. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast now in order to be notified of when a new episode is going to be published and the new questions are being answered. Over the next few episodes, I'll be answering questions about the benefits of podcasting. Now, there are several areas under that question that I can cover, and I will cover. In the next episode, I'll answer the question, is it difficult to do? Is podcasting difficult to do? So come back when we do that one, check that interview out or check that podcast out, and we'll answer that question. Till next time, it's Bob Thibodeau. Get out there and start podcasting.